It's called Songs from a Little Green House. My good friend Tom Coombs, a great songwriter from Newfoundland, had a great way to put it. I put a new coat on the old corpse, where I took an old EP that I didn't properly release and added on another EP and smashed it together. And so that's Songs from a Little Greenhouse, a little bit of a compilation. When I go up to Muskoka, there's a place where I grow. In its woods where the trees make steeples, it's where I go to find what I'm looking for. That's where I go to find what I'm looking for. It's where I go to find what I'm looking for. I've been, let me see. I've been playing since I was a young little kid, 7 years old. I started playing in the bars when I was 14. We contacted this one spot, California's in Windsor, and it was kind of like, it was 1999, and this place was kind of like end of the 90s raves were happening there. Ecstasy just came to Windsor at least, and he said, hey, like we want to like play a show at the bar. And so he's like, okay, sure. And so he like booked us in, but we didn't tell him that we were 14, right? So we all show up, and this was the worst band of all time. Like we really did stink, you know. And so we got to the show, and he wasn't to be seen, but the bartender was like, do you guys have ID? We're like, oh, well, like, no, we're 14 years old, right? And he's like, oh my goodness gracious, like, how could this have happened? So we all got marks on our hand, and it was all good. Like, we were allowed to play, and all of our underage friends came in, but we truly sucked. No, how am I to know? How am I to know? There's, of course, definitely some personal stuff that I write about. I'm always really cautious about writing about the personal stuff because, like, it's therapeutic. You know, you write about a breakup, you write about a death, you write about something like that, and you put it in song, and it's off your chest, but then you have to go and relive that. This next one that I'm going to release has some very intensely personal things too, and I think that the majority of the album is going to be like that. And I'm trying to kind of get into some social commentary and address some political things and some environmental things, but I kind of feel a little bit of a goof when I do that. Like I feel like, who am I to have an opinion? With the songwriting comes this implied sense of, listen to me, I've got it all figured out, which feels inaccurate, like talking about sexism and misogyny and racism. I'm just feeling like a lot of white Canada is being exposed to exactly what's going on. Gord Downie said it best, where it's kind of like generations of people just taught to not even register how terrible society can be to certain groups. You know, people write about, you know, politics. It is so personal where they're coming from it. It's hard to really figure out how to address that stuff. A lot of songwriting is educating yourself with things that you don't know about. And I want to almost do that first before I sing about anything political. And I'll raise my family off of all 12 notes. Yes, I'll make my children's clothes out of all 12 notes, 'cause we live in a house built with all 12 notes. We live in a house built with all 12 notes, and